one radio. 92.7 Super FM.
Your one fact
course. So she opens the bag, she takes out the notebook for the subject, and basically her friend is saying, I don't know so and so. She's checking through the notebook and answering the question for her friend.
Cheating, basically.
So she was giving her expo. And she kept on doing this until she got caught.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jennifer got caught giving her friend expo. And this is where everything changes. The school authorities said we'll met out punishments. We will look into it. We're going to take it to the board, to the principal. They'll sit down and then they'll come up with punishment. Now, there are two sides of the story, and we'll do a part one today. If time permits us, we'll extensively talk about it. And if we don't finish today, we'll continue with Family Matters tomorrow. To round it off. But the first thing that happens is, like I said, she goes back home and she actually tells her mom
what she had done.
Mommy, I'm sorry, I did something wrong. And her mom is pained because she's known in the school. She's known as a very good woman that delivers in the school. And so her mom says, you know what? Whatever the school decides is the punishment, we're not going to beg for you. Your punishment from us is that whatever the school punishment is,
you're going
that's
to do
what
it.
you're going to do. So I will give you the update of what the punishment is maybe tomorrow. I'll let you know because we'll find out hopefully today. I'll let you know. So I'm giving you hot as it's coming from the pot. But the question that boggles my mind, and why did you do such a thing? You're not cheating for yourself.
You're cheating for somebody else.
You're a commercial class student and she's doing very well. Mom, her mom told the teacher, look, the teacher actually knows this child is a very brilliant child. She's a distinction child. So why did you commit such an offense? Because you know that it is wrong. So our first question today is the why.
Why?
Why do you think a child will do that, will go out of her way to cheat for a friend? Now, so love be. Or could it be? And this is one of the things that the mom was saying. She didn't know how to approach the issue with her daughter to say, tell me the truth as to why. She had not gotten there. She was still upset that you know the reputation that we have and how you're brought up, you know better. So why did you decide to cheat? She hasn't asked that question. What even prompted her to ask the question more is the teacher. The teacher said she was asking the mother, so why did she say, I still don't understand. But I haven't asked her because I'm too angry to imagine that she actually brought herself to that. A child pressure.
Right.
Trying to
belong.
Because kids do that sometimes. Do you think so? And if you've had any case like that in the past, when you were growing up, did you have to do something risky just to be friends with people in your class, in your school, just to be cool?
Yeah.
Just to be, be with the cool kids.
I think that a lot of people out there that are people pleasers today, starts like this. Because at the end of the day, I mean, you're friends with someone, but because you want to be in their good books, you decide to take on something that is out of character for you as an individual.
Do you think it could be peer pressure?
It definitely could be peer pressure, but it could just be youthful exuberance.
Youthful exuberance?
Guess what? Okay, so I went to a secondary, a senior secondary school, a federal school, state, yes. And I saw a lot of people do this over and out. Like, it was like a norm. Like, your friend is having a course and she doesn't know it, and you sit by the window and you're giving her, cheating and giving her the expose. It wasn't seen as anything.
Yeah, that's for children who don't actually see it as anything. This child is so well behaved. So this was
it was out of character for her.
Yes.
To have to do something like such. And so do you think that maybe she was even bullied into doing it by that friend?
Bullying.
Maybe they're not truly friends. Let's check it out. Maybe they're not truly friends.
So, oh my gosh, she said bullying, and I'm just thinking, does she, this other friend, this friend, does she have a clique that you're trying to be a part of?
Exactly.
Or that actually
bullied you into even joining? You know how you always have like the leader of the gang, and there are two girls by their sets and they're just moving, and those two girls are literally like slaves. quote unquote.
Yeah.
Oh, she takes her bag. She's the one that holds her lunchbox. She's the one that does this and does that. And you know, almost some
Queen
of these
Bee says
schools,
something
Queen
and
Bee
everybody
said
says
exactly.
yes.
So, I mean, grabbing my book, I want to just teach me this, because for someone who has never done this before. And it's out of character for her, it's questionable. That act is questionable.
And this is why we're here. So this is not all about us. And I know you will say, oh, this is a trivial. It's not trivial.
It's not trivial.
Because this is where it begins. If she's at 13 years old, this is what has happened. What happens if we continue like this? What happens when you're 16? What happens when you're 21? What kind of adult are we going to be?
You wouldn't even be able
to
to stand on your own.
So
It will be based off of other people's
Yes.
opinions and
If-
other people's, if it's not
if
addressed.
it was peer pressure, then you'll be basing your life on other people's opinions. If it was bullying, then you'll be subjected to being subservient
Exactly.
to people. We really need to know what you think about this. Please feel free to call us or send us a WhatsApp message. If you also have been in that situation, whether you were bullied, whether you were taken advantage of, whether you were it was peer
Cajoled,
pressure,
yeah.
whether you were cajoled, whether you were bribed, whatever it was, we would like to know, because this is a learning curve. When I heard it, I was like, oh my goodness, we should talk about this. She was like, I know. That's why I'm telling you. Yes, because she knows that.
Well, join in on the conversation. Let us know what your thoughts are on this. 0705 6900927. 0705 6900927 is the number to call us on, and send us a WhatsApp message as well on that same number. I'll take it one more time. 0705 6900927. And then we're bringing it home. Is there anything, or at any point in your life, did you do something based off of being cajoled, bullied, or mandated? Because you know there's some people that are like, if you don't do it, seniors. So do we know whether this person is in her class or within her class range?
I think their class range.
Their class range,
class
like
range thing.
because
But
if
you know
it's
there are
a
class range
senior,
people that are senior, older than you.
oh yeah. No,
And
I
so
was
they-
even thinking of senior in class. That's requesting
No,
carry
she's
my
a
book.
commercial student.
In
This
that
one's a
same-
commercial student. One person is a science student. So they're really worlds apart.
And
but
if she's
they're in the
13,
same
she would be in
level.
SS1. That's
Yeah,
her.
yeah,
She's an
yes,
SS1
she's an
ish.
SS1. So that's why I said commercial student.
Commercial student, and then she's a science student.
student.
We need to be very, because our kids, if you've known your child for the longest time, because I'm sure her mother is pissed
Her
because
mom is so
this is
pained.
not the child that I
She
groomed.
said, Chema, she said the teacher was saying to her, the mother was saying to her, Chema, she said, my friend said, Chema, we have like students in class, but this child is a very brilliant child, and her mother is one that people know in class to be very well behaved, and her children are very well behaved. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Please do call us back. If I don't know why the phones are wonky, but please try to call us back. Also, you can call us on, you can send us a WhatsApp message on 0705 6900927. You can call us on that number as well, 0705 6900927. And you can send us a text message if you want.
On 0903 714 2798. 0903 714 2798 is the number to send us a text
If
message
you try the other number and it's not going, try this other number.
Yeah, you can call us on 0802 502 7711. 0802 502 7711 is also another number to reach us on. Tell us, were you at any point in that,
Did you ever feel that kind of peer
pressure to do something that you would usually not do?
Or were
Okay.
you bullied?
Now,
What's happened? You
guess
just had
what?
an idea.
I have a story that is quite similar to this.
Oh, interesting.
So, I remember vividly, I was about to get into GSS1.
Yeah.
I was in primary 5 then. I had gone to buy bread for my mom, and then I saw a young girl. I usually would wear pants, trousers, like jeans and all of that. I never had a skirt.
Why am I not surprised? But go ahead.
Dungarees and all of that was what my mom would usually buy for us. And I wanted to get bread. And I saw this really young girl who was my age. Jennifer was her name. Oh, coincidence.
No
Jennifer,
way.
I kid you not. Jennifer was her name. And she became my best friend at some point. But we stood there, and she didn't want to speak to me because I was wearing trousers. So she attended this lesson that had this ideology from a particular person that had attended a church saying, oh, women are not supposed to wear trousers. So, walking into that space with her, the person who had was selling bread was saying, gift, you know what, hang on, let me get you your change, I'll come back, but if anybody comes, this is how much this bread is, this is how much this one is. So she walks in and she's like, oh, where's Aminat? And I'm like, okay, why is this one talking to me like this? And I looked at her and I'm like, oh, Aminat is not around, but this is 200, this is 500, this is 300. And she goes, oh, I wasn't talking to you. And I'm like, okay. This was me at, I think I was 7. I was 8 going on 9. And I stood there and I looked at her and I don't know, I used to talk. So I literally lashed at her and I said, who do you think you are? Who do you think you are? So we sort of exchanged words back and forth. I think I left. And then my mom now took me to this lesson where I was supposed to write common entrance from. So extra lessons. I walked in and then I saw her. I was wearing trousers to this place. And everybody kept looking at me weird. Like, oh, who is this person? Who's this Sina?
You don't belong here.
I don't belong here. But I mean, the first day I wore trousers. Second day I wore trousers. Third day I wore trousers throughout that week. So nobody wanted to speak to me and I didn't really care. What was I going there for? I was going there to go and learn for. I was going there to have a lesson teacher to take me through the Ugo and all of that.
Pressured?
I did feel a little pressure and I had to conform. Yes. So after like 1 week, the week before, the Friday before, we had like a small session, like an assembly of some sort. And the man goes on to say, oh, wearing trousers is bad. It's against God's word, blah, blah, blah. He kept going on and on and on and on about it. I went back home and I told my mother that I was not going to wear trousers anymore.
Oh, wow.
Yes, and I didn't wait until I was done with SS3.
Technically, this is peer pressure and grooming to an extent.
And so she came on to me and told me, and then we now became friends.
When I started
wearing skirts. When I started wearing skirts.
You see this thing?
So there was a little pressure to want to be like others because I was seen like an outcast.
So if you're just joining us, this is 92.7 Super FM and this is Family Matters and we're on a family matter. A young lady, pseudonym Jennifer, she's 13 years old, a good kid, distinction kid, at the top of her game. Her family has a good reputation in this school, and then for some reason she's a commercial student and she has a friend who's a science student, and for some reason Jennifer decides that today is the day that she will shame her parents unknowingly, or would I say subconscious. So the issue is she sat by, after she finished her exams, she sat by the window where her friend was struggling with her science exams, and then she opened her friend's bag. She got the bag that was outside the class and opened her notebook and was answering questions, helping her to answer questions, and finally got caught. The question is the why, and I know that it sounds like a crazy question, but you see, they say train up a child in the way he should go, and when he grows, he will not depart from it. You find that sometimes the kids still depart from it. It is moments like this that are teachable moments, that are ignored, that lead to the point where that child forgets what they were trained to do, and how, or where they're coming from. So we were asking, why do you think that young lady, 13 years, she didn't cheat for herself?
She cheated for somebody else.
For someone in another class.
Another class entirely.
She is that smart though.
To have to take her book and open it up and tell her, was she cajoled into doing this? Was she bullied into doing this?
Or was
it peer pressure that she wants to join the clique of friends just to be in the right books with this person and try to help her out?
I think one of the things that hits me could have been the bullying.
Yeah, because I thought about that too.
Because you were pressured. I'll give you an instance. Oh my gosh, I'm about to be vulnerable on radio again. Yet again, this girl bringing out her leanings. Okay, so when I was in secondary school, I've been a big girl since I was 6, 7. I've been a big girl since then. So when I was in secondary school, I was in secondary school at the time where they used to call people Orobo and Fati Bombom and Omiliku. They call Yoruba people say milk. They call it Omiliku. So basically, your milk. And people say things like, "I'll just chuck you pee, you go boss."
Or you deflate.
Oh, the inferiority.
I did get that a lot.
The abuse was bad. But, so, there was this thing I had observed, that when children are big, if they're big or chubby, they tend to be bullies.
Yeah, they tend to be bullies. Those that are bigger than others in the class.
Yeah, they tend to bully other people. I never wanted to be that person. I was never a bully. I couldn't bully to save my life. Some people argue with you. They just I'm just misconceived. But they would bully me because I didn't want to bully anyone. Because I didn't have a heart to bully. I don't want to come and just be mean to people.
Or take your lunchbox or take your food or money.
So I realized that I got bullied. Without even realizing, subconsciously bullied. So someone would just say, Chema, come. And I would innocently, because I love everybody again, like, come is just not come. Work now. I will take my bag, take it to the class, because I was heading to the class. Somebody will ask me to boycott, carry a bag, and I don't make much of it. I'm going to class anyways. I remember one day that I felt, I vividly remember how it was. I went to Lagos Anglican Girls Grammar School at the time before I changed schools. But just so you understand where I'm coming from, I remember that I was coming from the staff room and I was going to the GSS 1 block. Thank you.
They call it blocks. Yes, I do.
Block. As I was going, I crossed the field. I was heading there when one of my classmates, two of them sitting out there with their bags. So one of them called me and said, Chema, come, take my bag to the class. And I'll tell you more in a moment. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning,
good
sir.
Morning.
Who are we speaking with?
My name is Jude. I'm calling from.
Okay.
Jude,
Go.
thank you for calling. Go ahead, please.
Okay. What I said is I don't know that
Yes, we can.
So the school I went, my mom had, I was young then. I was senior.
Jude is breaking a little, so I'm struggling to make out your words properly.
Okay.
Oh, Jude, would need you to call us back because
gosh,
I mean that was a vulnerable moment for him. He says, "Oh, I know that God has forgiven me, but I would just want to say this." But we would like to hear from you, please. You could be helping somebody out there. Thank you.
Absolutely. So you know, they called the classmates called me and said, "Come," and I went to her innocently, and she said, take my bag, take it to class," and I picked it up. You know, didn't think much of it. Took it, and the other one like, "Why are you sending that message? Come back!" And I came back. Drop the bag. Carry the bag. Drop the bag. I'm not kidding. This happened to me real life. Drop it. Carry it. Drop it. I said drop it. Carry it. Drop. I was just like, I was right there in the middle of the madness.
And you were their classmate.
And I was their classmate.
No way.
Yeah.
That is even.
So it makes you wonder about peer pressure and about bullying.
You see, one person that I know has always stood up against that has got to be Bovie. And I'm looking forward to Bovie having a conversation about this. What happened to him? Because for someone to be...
Oh, he shared.
Oh, did he? I haven't seen that interview. I really want to see. I really want to see.
Church.
In your church. Oh,
yes, he was a guest speaker. Him and Helen Paul. And it's on the internet, it's on YouTube.
I would check that out because every single time anything that is brought up with regards to bullying, he's a very intelligent man.
Yes.
He's someone who I think that he's quite bookish and his ideology is about life. When you listen to him speak, you're like, oh my God, this person has so much wisdom to actually put out there. Yeah. And so when I heard him talk about it the first time, I'm like, oh, okay, he's passionate about it. But then again and again and again, not once, not twice, not three times. And I'm like, okay, there's obviously something behind this that he needs to talk about.
Because you will be shocked how many people have been, their lives were formed or reformed because of bullying in school. And because
with seniors, why give a senior a right to punish another person in that school? Yeah. Why give them that right?
And you know the funny thing, a lot of these kids don't talk about it with their parents because there's some parents that when you say you were being bullied, they beat you. They'll tell you that if you go outside and somebody beats you, I'll come. If you come back,
I will beat you. Yes, beat the person. And sometimes
so
your kid is not even
raising bullies. Because that person might have played with you and tapped you, but your mother said or your father said, beat the person back. It go throw punch. It will turn to a fight. But so the reason, as superficial, as simple as this conversation sounds, it's a very deep conversation.
I don't think it's even simple because it forms.
Oh, it sounds simple.
It sounds very laid back. Like this person she just cheated. But you never know what may have been going through that child's head or what their experiences had been beforehand.
I just had a thought. Could it be? You know the thing about being a good child? Always being a good child, and one day you want to take a risk.
Right. It's
because I've always been doing everything good, staying on the right, and
let me be bad for once.
And then you know that thing where you sneak peek the book where she says maybe the question is a biology question about a mobile hold. That thought. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Who are we speaking with?
My name is Mr. Makokudre. I'm calling from Apapa here in Lagos.
Mr. Audrey, okay.
Mr. Okudiri, thank you for calling. Go ahead, please.
Makokudre, yeah. Concerning the issue of the teenager that assisted somebody in exam malpractice.
Yes, sir.
You know, one thing is because we have little or no child parental this thing for our children again, we only teach them a sort of maybe sometimes respect and intelligence, but we don't teach them the importance of morals. Like our professional ethics. You are being told of a code of conduct that you should not do anything that will bring disrepute to your profession. If you do that, your professional certificate will be withdrawn.
True.
So you can be, because of that, you can be a Solomon in wisdom, or even Daniel. You can be in praise, or you may even have faith like Abraham, or be strong like Joshua in war. But if you are not disciplined like Joseph, you end up like Samson in destruction.
Okay, so many references. Love it.
The problem with that girl is she was not taught to be disciplined, to respect, to place morals above every other thing.
Mr. Okudiri, from what I hear, She's very well brought up. She has never done something like this before. She is a distinction student. Like, she is one of the best students in school. She goes away with awards, and she's well brought up.
You are rating her on intelligence level.
No. I'm telling you that the teacher said her mother and themselves that they've known her to be a very well behaved child. She obeys the law. She's always on the right side. So this was
out of character for her.
Yes.
She's such this is from such a disciplined family. Why did she give up? Why did she now?
That's the question. That's the question we're asking. We're trying to dissect and look from different angles. What could be the reason why she will do what she just did?
It's just like you're a Christian and you know you're not supposed to fornicate, and you say you are being pressured to fornicate. Even in our professional ethics, they say no matter. It's just like law. Even if it's your parents, you do the right thing. If you have that strong mind, that fear, what you know is better than what you don't. That is better than what you don't know, and you prefer it than that very thing that is before you. You are in that dilemma. You'll be able to stand on your feet and say, "No, I respect my faith. I cannot go into such a thing." That fear will override the benefits or whatever, or the love or whatever move you or pressure that you want to do something that is wrong.
All right.
So you must have that in your. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much. Sir. I like that he said that strong will, and I think that this is going to be a place for her parents to actually coming and try to tutor her on standing her ground on whatever situations that she finds herself. Hello. Good morning.
Hello. This is Bede Kimber.
Okay, Bede, talk to us.
So I was saying, my mom was a teacher, and she usually asked me to mark of my seniors then. I think I was in this one.
Okay.
There are those that are intelligent and those that are not. I would, just because I don't want to see people feel, I will usually ask those that are feeling. Not that I was bribed or cajoled. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Just because of that love, so I feel love. I don't want to see them feel. You understand? There's no place because I don't have any happiness in that. And even when I was in school, I was also brilliant. So in the exam hall, I also helped my classmates.
Okay.
After writing, I would give them my script. I would literally be in the hall without my script. The vigilator won't know because I am well behaved, just like that. Just like the adjective to describe that girl. Well behaved. I am very quiet and demure when I was.
So why did you do what you did?
And my mom is a teacher, you understand? So you're saying that Yagi has not, it might be that she has done something like that before, but that was her getting caught.
So Jude, I like that you use this example. Why did you do it at that time? You yourself, why did you do it?
I didn't do it because of peer pressure or because I was being bullied. For me, it was not.
Thank you so much, Bede.
I mean, I wish I could delve more into this thing because his is kind of different because we're all in the same class. The moment you go from, as a commercial student, you finish your exams, you went to science students class to go and cheat for them. If you're asking, if you let someone copy your book, you know, it's a bad thing.
It is.
But we, growing up, there was a lot of pressure. Why is
Because
somebody's eyes are bulging?
yeah, my eyes are bulging because this is,
You're a culprit.
I'm a culprit.
Yes.
I'm going to say that with my full chest. I apologize. I mean, if I had known better, would I have done it again? Now I don't even know how to answer that question.
It's the level of understanding you have now. You probably wouldn't.
With the level of understanding, probably wouldn't. But would I like to see my friend fail because of that?
Again.
No,
It's a different thing if you are in the same class and the
so
person is copying.
we were in the same class, and she's bad with math. I'm not great with math, but I'm good with math. And I mean, I sat down beside her, and I mean, we had done this before. We had done all the reading and everything, all the calculations. We were good. And going to the exam hall, we're like, you know what, we're going to kill it. And so the compulsory question was the question that had the math question. And so I just thought that, you know what, let's just do every other thing. The compulsory question, we can do it last. And so we did the compulsory question last. She's sitting by me.
Right.
And I'm just doing my compulsory question and I'm done with it. And I'm, oh my God, right. This is an A. I was sure it was an A at the end of the day. And I turned to my friend and I see her eyes were bloodshot red. She had forgotten everything that we had done.
No.
Yes. She had forgotten everything that we had done the day. She's like, I don't know numbers. Like, you know how numbers, ADHD, neurodiversity, and everything was just, she was like, she doesn't know. She doesn't even remember anything we did. I'm like,
pressure.
okay, all right. And then we exchanged. I gave her my
and you started writing for her.
And then I started writing for her.
With your own handwriting.
With my own handwriting.
And did you not catch
We have similar handwritings. Wait now. Hey, I see that I said you made no verse now.
Sorry, I got it.
My
blood is old.
I helped her write hers, and then we did the exchange back, and then we went to submit. And I mean, she literally, because that was a compulsory question, and I mean, I just was helping a friend. I was helping a friend, but like you said, it's a different situation owing to the fact that this girl had to go from one class to another to help another.
Get caught, Abby?
I didn't get caught. It's me. I didn't get caught.
So you see, this thing you just did now. No, don't worry, I'm not judging you. I just wanted to tell you that I'm also a culprit.
Oh my word! So why were you looking at me that way? Like, okay.
So in my case, it's even worse. My case was worse. Again, peer pressure.
Right.
You're not gonna like this, but it was in the university.
Mine was in uni too.
So, yours was in uni.
It was in uni.
Oh, I don't feel so bad anymore.
You don't feel so bad anymore.
So I studied French language, and this was my third year at French Village. And we had, we normally have other students from other universities. We, some people go to French Village, some people go to Togo. That's how it's done in Nigeria. So you have the third year spent somewhere that is going to be very French centered, as it were. I lived, how do you say, the hostels were all filled up. So the place, like, we had so many students that year, but they had to move us to it was a teacher's apartment. Quarters. And so there are a bunch of us there, like 6 or 7 of us in the same, like, it was supposed to be like 2 rooms, but the rooms were large to an extent. So they just packed all of us in there. And I met these other ladies from Unical and which other school? Like, most of them were Unical. They were like a clique of friends. But the thing is, they didn't quite know French. There's one particular girl, I'm not going to call her name just because it'd be bad for me to do that, but she didn't know Jack. How she got French to year 3, I don't know.
Okay.
She could, like, I don't know. You know, those like you can't, let's not try to analyze how she became a student, let alone got to year 3. Yeah, she was that bad. And then there was another one that wasn't as bad, but was quite bad. But basically, I was shocked that they didn't even speak anything. They didn't even know how to, like, the simplest
have a conversation,
conjugations or simplest words. They would not know what I'm talking about. So, anyways, I was in this thing. It was time for exam, and we, for some reason, I don't know how that happened, but they kind of put all of us in the same space for the exam, and I don't know how they got to sit close to me. So strategic I had one position on the left, one on the right, like, and another one next to the other one, and we're all in class doing the exam, and I was just writing away because I knew what I was doing, and they didn't quite, and so they all started begging me to show them my work. Let me tell you, that was the first and the last time I did that. Do you know why?
Because
of the peer pressure. because I'll still meet these people inside the room.
But they're not gonna beat you
You
up.
understand? They set me up tomorrow.
As in,
So I felt pressured. And I was like, okay, let me not be the wicked person. Are you the only saint that doesn't let people see your work? I opened my work. I was working, but I left it open as opposed to covering your answers. And I was writing, and they were copying.
right.
This girl. She copied my matric number too.
Ah.
I'm not joking. I'm not
Oh
joking.
my God.
I'm not even making this up. This is
how-
my real life. How did I know? I was just like, I was writing my thing and waiting and writing my thing and waiting. And just for some reason, I
You
just
just
decided
turned
to look at them and see how far they had come. Let me know if I can, because I think I needed to flip my page. So I was waiting for them to finish so I could flip my page. And I was like, and I kept saying, don't copy exactly what I'm writing. Please, just read it, understand, and write your own.
Today-
Who was I talking to? Yes, my mind did not go there. This is how she copied down to my matric number. When I looked and I saw that she copied my matric
And that
number,
could put you in jeopardy. It's so much trouble.
I would fail that
You will fail that course.
that I knew so well. I just turned. I was like, "That's my matric number."
Like, can you not have
Like,
a bit of
seriously?
a
That
sense?
was the end. I covered my work. I'm like, auntie, that's my matric
You
number.
could put me in trouble with
Please remove
that.
my matric number. If you like, go and leave it. I continued. I covered my work from there because I was like, and this was the time I didn't care anymore because I was like, no, you can't do that to me. Like, I'm even. Listen, the moral of this conversation is that we're saying these things so that you know that we realize now that it's wrong.
True.
But it's because nobody really sat to tell us why this is bad. You were looking at your friend. I'm trying to protect my friend. I don't want my friend to fail.
Right.
And it's a good gesture and a good thought, but
But-
you are actually not helping your friend.
Right.
In fact, you are actually committing a crime.
Oh, true. It was
So
a crime.
this is why I thought that this 13-year-old,
Oh, go on.
this is a good time
Mm-hmm.
to get her to see. But you would like to understand, it would be important to understand the why first. I can't wait to tell you tomorrow.
Because we're going to get that update today.
Yes, I
We've
wanna
asked
get
a
the
couple of
update.
questions as to what, this teacher who had a conversation with us.
Today.
So they have a meeting today,
Yes.
and so they would met
Don't
out
loud it,
the
don't loud it. They
they will
might
met
have a
out the
meeting
the punishment for her,
punishments.
and we will get feedback as to what the
What the
school is
punishment
doing.
is,
Because
yeah.
I mean I know that some people are already writing exams now, and that's why this has occurred. And in all of this, like I said, bullying. I have a strong feeling that young girl, who usually is the most studious and one that puts her school on the map and is seen as someone who will takes education rather seriously and would never do that, step out of character
It's
to
not
do it.
just education, and I want to highlight this again.
There's morals because
Because,
Mr.
Mr.
He has an Igbo name.
Forgive me because he has the
Audrey.
there's a way he called the pre-name. Forgive me, but he did mention that. She must have been, besides the studiousness, she must have been badly behaved as well. And I say no. I say no because the teacher, she took out time. We were gisting for a while, so I was getting all the information I could for this conversation. And I like to ask questions to have a rounded conversation. But we're going to take a break. When we come back, I want to talk about the fact that she trusted her mom to tell her the truth.
Yes, that is really important. We'll be right back. It's still Family Matters on your One Family, One Radio, Super 92.7.
Super FM 92.7.
Pour it, taste it, the richness so amazing. For your sake. Creamy and delicious. Dano evaporated milk.
Now you can enjoy a great creamy taste with Dano Full Cream and Dano Cool Cow Evaporated Milk. Try it and taste the Dano difference.
Have you been looking for avenues to reach a global audience? Would you like your business to reach your target audience and people from all walks of life? Call our commercial lines on 0816-4193-677 or walk into our office at 31 Bishop Oluwole Street, Victoria Island, Lagos. Put your business on blast on Super 92.7 FM, your one family, one radio.
In
today's fast-paced world, staying ahead of the curve is crucial. Are you ready to connect with the latest in business and economics? Tune in to the Business Connect, a dynamic program that delivers in-depth analysis of Nigeria's top business headlines and the global trends shaping the world economy. Each week, we bring you the latest updates on everything from financial markets and trade policies to entrepreneurship and cutting-edge innovations. Hear from industry leaders and experts as they break down the topics that matter most in the world of business. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a business professional, or simply curious about the evolving world of commerce, the Business Connect connects you to the pulse of business at home and abroad. Stay informed, stay ahead, make smarter decisions. Tune in to the Business Connect every Monday, 10:30 to 11 a.m. Because in business, knowledge is power. The Business Connect, only on Super 92.7 FM. Don't miss it. One family, one radio.
Taxis waiting down on the street, so hurry up, I have to go. Looking round to see all the people making faces very cold. Carry me away, far from the circles that never breaks. Hey, hey, hey. Going home, where this road goes, I already know. Just for one another, and they take you as their sister. Ayo, 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 ayo. Where the children run around, there's laughing in the crowd. I hope it still remains the same. Ayo, 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 ayo. And there's something in the song that makes you feel at home, and that's what's calling out my name. Ayo, ayo. All up and ready for takeoff. Somehow I can fly away. House is getting smaller up the way up. My heart a sunny day, dreaming of me on stage. 5 years of age and I'm not afraid. Hey, going home. Where this road goes, I already know. Everybody cares for one another, and they take you as their brother. Ayo, 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 ayo. Where the children run around, there's laughing in the crowd. I hope it still remains the same. Ayo, 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 ayo. Well, there's something in the song that makes you feel at home, and that's what's calling out my name. Ayo, ayo, oh. Will you take me and embrace me as your own? Will you take me and embrace me as your own?
It is 92.7 Super FM, and that was Eyo by Asha. Just a breather, because you know some of these sensitive matters.
Quite sensitive if you ask me, because for someone who to go out of character, a young 13-year-old who has never done anything of this sort before.
I got a message from my friend, my own friend, DM me and said, Chema, let's not lie. The child can be a good child, and it's possible for it to happen.
Oh yes, it's quite possible.
Because people are thinking, oh, she must be badly behaved. She might be intelligent, but she's badly behaved.
No, it's very possible.
It's very possible
that this could happen. Well, we have an amazing intern right here with us in the studio, in the person of Munirat. Munirat, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Fantastic. All right, Munirat. I mean, you're a student.
Yes, I'm a student.
Of now?
Yes.
Yes. And I know that, so you've written exams, quite, because you won't be here if you haven't written something. Yes. So have you ever seen something of this sort happen?
If I'm being honest, I too am a culprit.
Okay. Hey. So, I mean,
we're all confessing.
Well, the handcuffs.
It's a safe space.
3 handcuffs.
No, this is a safe space. This is our confession room. Go ahead, my dove.
The thing is that I think when you're seen as a good student, there's kind of like an expectation from you by your peers to give your own answers to help them.
Right.
It's like an entitlement.
Because you're smarter than them,
Yeah.
or because they think that you're smarter than them. Hence, you should bring the answers.
I wasn't the best student in high school.
Okay.
I was just like maybe like average or slightly above. I wasn't like people weren't looking at me, so I was never attacked then. But in university, this is when I started to really do well, to really shine. And then some people noticed that there was one time I was writing exams and I met this girl in school. I didn't know her, but she was just talking to me. So she sat beside me. She made sure to sit beside me.
I have a follow-up story, but go on.
And then she was like, okay, please, can you help me? And I was just feeling bad for her. I didn't know her, but I was just, because I wanted to know her more. So it's like, okay, I'll just help her out a little bit. I was like, okay, maybe just one question. One question became 6 questions.
She's going to
So it
copy the
became
entirety of your notes.
I
or
just
your
had to,
books.
it got to a point where I had to just stand up. I had to be like, okay, I'm done. Like, I was just making sure I finish on time so I can be like, sorry,
Leave
I'm
there.
done.
Right.
So the second exam we did, she made sure to sit beside me again.
Okay.
But like I had already told my mom, because I'm always honest with my mom. I always tell her everything. So I'm just like, don't make sure you don't do that again.
So what did you do the second time?
The second time I couldn't avoid her. She sat beside me. But what I did was I made sure not to even turn my head to look at her. I told her before we entered, I'm not going to help you. That if you talk to him, I'm not going to answer you. But she still tried it, and I did not even
Respond
respond to her.
So you did it out of peer pressure.
I did it out of peer pressure and also people pleasing.
Pity.
She wasn't. It was also
pleasing.
pity, my own pity for her, because I was kind of when I was younger, people could boss me around too a bit, but not that much. I sometimes, but like not all the time. But I grew out of that a little bit, where I could be like, okay, I'll say no to things, but when I feel bad for someone, I'll try my best to help them. So that's what I felt for her.
Okay.
So after I learned my lesson the second time, I didn't help her. I didn't see her again.
She was just there because she wanted someone to help her out. Yeah.
I saw in the exam up, she went and just I saw her go.
Yeah, she's like, somebody else.
This person is not going to help me.
But these are the issues. Because again, this child is well brought up. And Munira, we can attest to the fact that Munira is well brought up, she's well behaved and all of that. So it's not in her character to do these things. But peer pressure in her case, I'm wondering what exactly led this one. Do you think it's possible that she just wanted to take a risk? You know that risk that you take and you get away with the first question and the second question and you just get a little uncomfortable until you get caught.
You know why I had mentioned something, youthful exuberance, like just trying to try out something devious or something just very, let's just do this.
Because especially when you're a good child, you feel it's not even, in this case, it's not even peer. Well, it is peer pressure in some sense, but not directed at you and any other student. It's the pressure
I've been good for too long.
Yeah,
Let me
they
try
want
to
me
do
to
something.
be, and you watch other people get away with murder, basically, like get away with bad behavior.
Yeah.
And you think, I shouldn't, and they might have even made utterances to you,
right?
Made jest of, no, don't follow this one. No, she's too good or goody two shoes or something, and that will feel. Do you think so, Munira? Is that a possibility? Did you ever feel like that in secondary school or university?
I felt kind of like that because I never went to, like, you know how they say high school parties, whatnot. That was I'm always well behaved, good girl, and I always sometimes I'd feel like, why can't I just do one small thing and get away with it? But
this might be her one small thing.
You see, that thing that Munira had said, saying that someone would make sure to sit close
near
to
you. Yeah.
I was that every day of the week throughout my exams.
Oof.
In uni, not even secondary school, because secondary school I was still trying to find my footing, but the university, that was the time I opened my eyes. So, okay, I can actually be a distinction student, which I was the bulk of my school time. And I remember that if you sit close to gifts, just sit close to gifts, you are going to pass that exam.
The numbers call is
it was pressure, because I'm like, okay, that was pressure to read, because you cannot not, you have to do well. So this one literally sat down behind, because it was like a theater setting. So she sat behind me, and I'm like, you know what, just open the book and just continued writing. When I'm done, I stand up and I move. If you have not finished, it's your business.
It's exactly what I said to
Yes,
you.
it's your business.
The number to call is 0705 6900927. That's 0705 6900927. We have a few more minutes to go. We just want to hear your take on the matter. And I know some people are listening and taking away, thoughts from this. You can reach us on WhatsApp as well on the same number, 0705 6900927.
Why did you decide to tell your mom? Why did you decide to tell your mom?
Because I tell her everything since I was little all the time. Even when I was getting bullied a little bit in school, I always tell her. I always felt like I could tell people I trust anything.
So you trusted your mom.
I
That's
trusted
the
my
point.
mom.
Okay, let's take a call and then we'll come back to this. Hello, good morning. Are you there? Please call us back, 0705 6900927. Is there anything you've done and you thought it was really bad and you didn't want to tell your mom? Hold that thought. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Who are we speaking with?
My name is a friend from the past from Chioma BBB. Nice to hear from you again.
You sound familiar.
You have put me on the edge. I have been wondering and worried, but
I'm here.
this supervisor never be off the radio.
Oh,
So you're in the right place.
Thank
Very
you.
much.
Go ahead.
This is the Archangel, if you remember.
Huh? See, our family matters. Let's shift our own family matters to later. What's your thoughts?
No problem.
So good to have you
And
here.
you were about to say something about some minutes ago about I am a good person. I've always been a good person. But because if you look at the story, she went to a different class. And I'm assuming that person in that different class is a close friend of hers. I'm assuming that. And because of that, I wouldn't use the word pity, I would use the word love. But it might be misplaced, but let me just put it that way. Because I want to do something, to help this
my
person.
friend.
You understand? At least I'm having it good.
Right.
So because of that, at least let me just show the kind of love that would make me feel happy inside, whether it's or not. At the time, it remains to be seen. You understand?
Yeah.
And on the other hand, it could be that I am good, yes. However, I'm so good, too good. Let me just do one little thing. You understand?
Okay.
It's just like one cartoon I was watching. You say, there's no, he says, there's nothing happening around here. Everything is looking so perfect. Let me just do a little bit. You understand?
An idle man is the devil's workshop.
Right.
You understand? Because everything was so perfect. Everything was so good, smooth. So it's either this or that. Because, it's not her friend in the same class. It's a different class. And look at this. She went to the science class. But she's not a science student, right?
No,
She's a commercial
student.
Good. Meaning that she is, for an art student to be good in the science, she must be very, very good. It's just because of maybe profession, maybe she wants to be something else. That's why. So she is sharing. Let's just use that word, sharing.
Wow, that's what we are calling the crime now.
Sharing.
According to the law, in not a good manner.
Okay.
That's fighting. Jonah, well done.
I love you. Thank you so much,
for
Archangel.
calling. You see, that's why when you use the term crime, I looked at you like, it's my friend. She's sitting close to me.
Hold this thought. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
I'm Chinedu.
Okay, Chinedu, turn down the volume of your radio so we can hear you clearly.
Is it okay?
It's better.
Okay.
But you still need to turn it down a little more because we can hear the echo.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead, Chinedu.
Yes, I just want to share little experience, and then again the spiritual background concerning this. Actually, I grew up with my both parents are teachers.
Okay.
My in church were being trained that if others fail, you mustn't fail. And then if my mom, I'm glad She's with me now. Over 90 years old. She taught me. She's with me right away, and Papa right away. So if other say teachers, sons, or daughter shouldn't say, and if they are flogging anyone,
they shouldn't be. Because that's how she trained you. Yes. Oof. Oh no! I was hearing they said his mom is by him there, and that they come from their family has a reputation of good behavior.
Right.
That's exactly what the teacher was saying to me.
That's why her mom is so bitter.
Yes, the teacher said, "I know this girl, and I know her mom, and that she's well brought up. She's brought up in a good way. She's brought up in the right way. So
she would never do anything without a why.
Yes,
there has to be a reason
and
why.
an intelligent student at that." You would be okay. One last call and we have to go. 0705 6900 Like I said, thank God Family Matters is happening tomorrow. We'll give you the updates. Today my ears already ringing, just waiting for what is the punishment. What are they meting?
Okay, I mean, back to you, Munira. She asked a question saying that, is there anything that you've done that you know was bad and you couldn't tell your mom?
There were a few things, but I ended up having to tell her
anyways. Right.
That says a lot.
And that says a lot about the relationship that we need to have as
we'll talk
children.
about trust tomorrow. We need to talk about trust, children and trusting their parents and why they do or do not trust them.
Okay, hello, good morning. Oof, okay, you may need to call us back.
I don't know what's happening with the phone lines now.
But we got a message saying, I do bad things, but I can't tell my mom because if I tell her, she will beat me up.
That's why.
Okay. I mean, a lot of people always run away from that because, yes, repercussion.
Yes, but if I feel safe with you, I know that the repercussion will come, but I understand why it will come, and I know you will do it with love.
So something had happened I had earlier mentioned, but should we take this call quickly?
Hello, good morning.